Blessings in Jesus' name. All the way throughout my journey, from becoming a Christian to actually preaching, and then seeing some persecution, imprisonment, reduction of liberties, I've been open book. I haven't hidden my moves or my manoeuvres. Every single time I made a video and I uploaded it to YouTube, I've constantly been an open book. And I'm not going to stop that. The reason I've been an open book is because people are always working in the background trying to defame your character, slander you, and lie to others about what your true intentions are. So it is never a bad thing to be open. People have said in the past the truth will set you free. And there's a reason it does. Because if you're concealing something, and oftentimes they might actually try to lead you to believe that saying nothing is better. Like, oftentimes, if you explain something partially, the explanation that follows trying to direct your course of behaviour might seem reasonable as the next best thing to do or the next right step to make, a decision to take. And so they'll only give you sort of a coloured, reduced version of events and things to take into account. So by omission, you're deceived. It's called deception by omission. But by omission, you can also have your decision-making processes influenced in a way that the advice appears reasonable because they're not giving you the full picture. So you might be actually led to do nothing, which is never a good thing. It's never a good thing to do nothing at all. So whenever Christians are advising you to do nothing and say nothing, they're not advising you rightly. Jesus said, have nothing to do with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. And there's a reason we should expose the unfruitful works of darkness, or one such unfruitful work is corruption in government. Namely, the current one is presumptively constitutional. This term in and of itself is the government saying you should presume things lawful. That should never be a case. That's not an acceptable standard on any level of life. No place would accept, no game, football, rugby, soccer, tennis, you name it, no game will say to you, stay ignorant of the rules. It's just not good advice. So your government telling you to presume things lawful is the same as saying stay ignorant as to whether they are in fact lawful or not. Don't ask us to check and be sure, but just do what we tell you and treat them as though they are lawful. Who would it ever, in any other circle or cycle or area or organ, would advise you to behave in this manner? Where else in human life is this advisable? It's not. It's not an acceptable or reasonable advice. And so if you ask somebody like the President of Ireland, Michael D. Higgins, to stay custodian of the Constitution and will pay you, and that means that you'll uphold the Constitution, you'll implement it, and you'll also preserve it for the next generations. It's not an acceptable position for him to then tell the public to obey things as constitutional in the absence of him confirming them such, when he is the one who's supposed to be studied in constitutional law, preserving the Constitution. That's terrible. That's like the referee of a football match saying, just presume whatever I tell you is the rules. Like, who would ever advise you not to know the rules yourself? Like, do you know the guy that stands at the sideline going, oh, come on, referee? He knows the rules of the game, and he has a problem with what the referee did because he knows the rules of the game. And he might have identified a flaw in the referee's conduct or ruling. So he's going, oh, come on, ref. But if the referee's decision is final, despite the rules, what's the point of having the rules? So no, this is never an acceptable or advisable endeavour according to any rule set, ever. Oh yeah, come on and we'll all play hurling, but don't learn the rules. We'll just tell you as you go along there. No, you'd read the rules, and then you say, yeah, the ref made the right decision there. He did. No, he did because the... And you'd be able to both agree then because you both know the same rules. But if a referee is telling you, just do whatever I tell you to do, as though it were the rules. As though it were the rules? What do you mean, as though it were the rules? It either is the rules or it isn't. It can't be presumptively the rules, or we can't play the game. Just like it can't be presumptively constitutional, or we can't behave in society as we're expected to according to the law. And so that's what your current government are telling you to do. I have been transparent all the way along, but they're leading you to ignorance on these issues that I have tried to expose before you. Presumptively constitutional is how they're telling you to remain ignorant and do whatever they tell you to do. That's not what we pay them to do. Blessings in Jesus' name. Read the Constitution for yourself, read the rules for yourself, and you'll be able to see when they're telling you to do something that goes against them.